Message to the 144. If we're going to be leaders and teachers of the new earth, we're going to have to be fearless because love is fearless. So we're going to need to overcome all our insecurities, our doubts, our unworthiness, seeking outside of ourselves for validation from the external world, from so-called others. We're going to have to purge that out of our energetic field. We're going to have to overcome our attachments, our egoic attachments and addictions. We're going to have to stop being afraid and worried about what people think. About people judging us, worried about friends and family stuck in the matrix that don't support us. We need to detach. Because if we're going to bring heaven to earth, we can't be in the vibration of fear. We can't be shy and afraid to be on video. We need to overcome our abandonment issues, our fears of facing our shadow, trying to pretend we're just love and light. We need to have the courage to allow the darker aspects of ourselves that we've been conditioned and brainwashed to push away, because every aspect of us wants love, and just because you suppress it doesn't mean it's not there. We have to have the courage to look at the aspects of ourselves that society has told us are bad, right? We have to look at it. This is why shadow work is essential. We have to understand we're whole and complete. We got to get out the fear-based energy and perception that we're broken. We're not broken, right? All that is just conditioning from religion, right? See, people often talk a lot about things like compassion and empathy, gratitude, and all these things as love. But a lot of these light worker channels and religious people and spiritual people, they don't talk enough about how love is fearless. So it's time to stop being obedient, being afraid to speak your truth because you're worried about what your coworkers are going to think, what your family's going to think. Right? It's time to live in truth. Stop putting people above you, so-called authorities. There are no authorities. You're the authority. It's just you here, right? Our fear of being perceived as crazy by a bunch of crazy people, that's ridiculous, right? This broken society trying to tell you what's crazy. It's time to overcome our limited thinking. It's time to overcome thinking, because that's what thinking is. It's a limitation program. Thinking is just electromagnetic interference that keeps you stuck in the past and looking towards the future to avoid the present moment, where all your power is, where all your wisdom is. That's what thinking is good for maintaining the subject-object paradigm. If we're going to move into the new earth, we want to be in the 5D unity Christ consciousness, not the subject-object paradigm. The seer, what is seen, and the act of seeing is all one thing. Thinking just keeps you in the ego, in the matrix, keeping you away from your intuition, keeping you away from your charisma and your divine intelligence. When you stop thinking and you marry yourself to the present moment, you enter the flow state. You're connected with your higher mind, your higher self, that knows more than your ego, your human character could ever imagine. Time to let go of beliefs. Beliefs are just limitation programs. Why limit yourself? You're everything, right? People cling to these identities when you're the I am, your infinite awareness, divine fractal of God, fucking identity. You're none of that. Let go of all these ideologies that just limit you and keep you trapped in the matrix. Recreate yourself anew in every present moment, right? Because we all want to create a better life. And so if you want something new, you can't be afraid to change. You have to be able to let go of your old identity. The old Coleman, who I was yesterday in the past, has to be let go of if I want a new reality. I have to change my inner state of being if I want a new. You keep doing what you've always done and you keep getting what you've always got. So we have to detach from our old identities. Now, some of our friends, some of our family may be attached to a less evolved version of yourself. But that's none of your business, right? If you want to create a better reality, a lot of people want to be wealthy, but they're attached to a version of themselves that's not going to get them there, right? So if you want a new reality, if you want a better reality, you have to be willing to change. You have to be able to let go of the more limited version of yourself. Right? Shy Coleman can't go to where I'm trying to get to. The Coleman that's worried about what people think can't go to where I'm trying to get to. I'm not getting anywhere because it's all here now. Creation is finished. But I have to be willing to let go of the fears. So you have to let go of all those insecurities. I know it's challenging to go into the unknown, but in the unknown, all you're going to find is more of yourself. See, the Matrix tries to brainwash you into thinking that being safe and being comfortable is where it's at, right? Hiding from your fears. But in reality, you're much better off facing your fears, right? You're closer to death when you run from them. You're much closer. Because on the other side of everything you fear is everything you desire. On the other side of the fear is unconditional love. So as the 144, we have to be willing to face our fears. And if the emotions come up, good. Don't identify them. Don't identify with them. But allow them to come up. Whatever it is. Anger, sadness, right? All these different type of forms, allow them to come up without identifying with them. The stories are irrelevant. The thoughts, the electromagnetic interference that's going on in your mind, it's irrelevant. You just want to process those emotions, those low frequency emotions, so they can leave, because they don't belong to you. They do not belong to you. But see, when we didn't know who we were, we identified with those emotions, right? Low frequency emotions that we got from the people we were around. The so-called trauma we inherited, that our body inherited. But stop identifying with all that. You're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, and you're not your experiences. You're the awareness of those things. So if you want to begin to manifest your dream life, you want to let go of those thoughts, because all those thoughts are going to do is limit you. They're going to keep you in fear and lack, right? Let go of your conditioning that you got from the Matrix. Any negativity, negative emotion, it's just showing you what's not true. So knock it off, right? So when a negative thought comes to you, or any thought, it's trash, especially the negative ones. Negative thought comes, trash. It's just showing you what's not true. You're beyond thoughts. Your magnificence, your divinity, it's beyond all that shit. All that belongs to the Matrix. Now, I'm a person that I get addicted to thoughts, right? I get bored, and it's a way I can entertain myself, right? It gives me a little dopamine hit. It's time that we break our addiction to that. Break our addiction to thoughts. They're only holding us back. Again, they're all only ruining things for you, destroying your charisma, keeping you detached from your intuition, your higher mind, and your manifestations and everything you desire. We have to live fearless. And I don't want to hear you can't do it. It's too hard. That's just more fear of the ego of mine that doesn't know anything. See, more limitations. The only thing holding us back at this point is our habits, feeding our fear, feeding our thoughts. We want to be in a state of no mind as much as possible. If your thoughts come, don't resist them. Allow them to come. Just understand they're irrelevant. They're irrelevant. And again, detach from your need for validation, reaching outside of you. Because there's nothing outside of you. There's nothing outside of you. Everything exists within your consciousness. And so if you're reaching outside of you, the universe is going to whip your ass because you're living in untruth. And then you're going to manifest from that untruth. So stop reaching outside of you. There's nothing outside of you. That's why we all get brutalized by our romantic interests, because the universe is trying to teach us to stop reaching outside of yourself. Be fearless, because that's your true self. Much love. Peace out, y'all.